Welcome, everyone, to the Around the Ballpark podcast. My name is Mike Redmond. Today is Sunday night, May 25th. Happy Memorial Day weekend if you are watching live with us, or if you're watching later on, happy Memorial Day to you and your family, and hope that you enjoy this 3-day weekend. We've had quite the adventure ourselves just in this time already, and haven't even got to Monday yet. But Darren, how are you doing on your end? How's your time?
I'm doing fine. Today was a nice, relaxing day, though I did see one of our movies that we already reviewed and put out there, and so that was fun. And it was fun, so it was good.
Fun time. Yep, and Eileen is with us. I know we've had her on before, my better half. We are going to talk about Universal Orlando and Islands of Adventure, I should say. We just recently went yesterday, so that's going to be the focal point of tonight's podcast. So if you're a big theme park fan or Universal Studios fan, go ahead and let us know in the comments as you arrive, and if you have any questions for us. But we're going to kind of look at this as from the perspective of someone that has not been to Universal, and we want to tell you all about the fun adventures that we had and things that we didn't even get to do. It's really it'd probably take 3 or 4 days to do everything, you'd say. There's so much there to do.
There was. I wish we a lot of people get those 3-day Florida resident passes and everything. I don't think my legs could handle it, but maybe a 20-year-old spry version of myself could have done that. And I mean, because honestly, it takes at least probably 2 or 3 days to get done with everything. And that's only in the two parks. They just opened Epic Universe, and then they have the water park. So that just alone, it could be a whole week's vacation. It would be really expensive though, but yeah, you can make a whole week out of it.
Yes, it really can. And so I'm excited to talk about it. And Darren, I know we've had one episode about 7 months ago where we touched the surface on Universal. So this will be kind of a fun follow-up. And Heather mentions that she has not been there in so many years. So we'll keep you updated, Heather, on what's new. But Darren, if you wouldn't mind sharing a word from our sponsor, the good folks over at Nashville Tax Solutions.
The good folks at Nashville Tax Solutions, simply put, are the ones that keep us here in business, and we want to thank them so much for that. Palm Bay, Fort Pierce, are tax problems weighing you down? Behind on filings? Are you facing a lien? Nashville Tax Solutions is here with expertise and dedication that you need. The experienced team handles the IRS, so you don't have to. But don't just hear it from us. Hear what some of the clients have had to say. Chris Bennett and his team turned a nightmare into peace of mind. They're sharp, they're honest, and they truly care. So don't let tax stress take over your life. Call 855-627-4829. Visit NashvilleTaxSolutions.com or email info@NashvilleTaxSolutions.com today. Nashville Tax Solutions, real help and real results.
Thank you, Darren. And Christopher, if you are watching along, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. But thank you so much for what you and your team do. We're so very grateful. And as we push to that 2,200 mark, couldn't be done without you and your team. So we just always, as always, want to start our episodes off by saying thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for supporting. We have that new series as well. Check it out if you haven't already. Our 2025 Summer Movie Preview Series. We are about a week into that. We got 30 total movies that we will be previewing. Some are big old stinkers and some are pretty good. We haven't gotten into the really, really good ones yet. We kind of just scratched the surface. So continue to watch that. Make sure you turn your notifications on so that way you know that we're live or that our videos are being put out there. They get released each and every day at 7 a.m. So we just had our latest one this morning for Dangerous Animals. And so we'll be back tomorrow with yet another episode of How to Train Your Dragon, part 4, I believe, sort of. It's a live action. It's not part 4 in the series. It's the first of the live actions. But so you want to make sure that you check those out. They're a lot shorter than when we get together here. They're typically about 8 to 10 minutes, but they're a lot of fun. So definitely check that out. And so Eileen, we and myself went to take our son last night, Aiden, to Universal. We got the multi-park ticket. So we went to both Universal and Islands of Adventure in the same day. Big task to take on, and we're feeling the effects of it today. very little sleep as well. We had church today and everything like that. But so we had a blast. I think we got there around 12 or so, and then we stayed till close at 10 p.m. So it was a little humid during the day, but not as bad as some of the Florida heat we've had this past week. But
it wasn't as bad as it's gonna get. So that's, that's what I can say about that. Because like, I know as a Floridian, it felt like, I think the temperature was 92. And I remember saying it feels like it's 95. And then I checked my weather app and it did say it feels like 95. So I was like, so it's not as bad as it's going to get, next month, maybe July, I know it's going to get like to the triple digits. So I told Aiden yesterday, I was like, this is it. This is the last theme park until October.
Yeah, it's, I can go whenever, like I'm a theme park nut, but most sane people are smart enough to wait until October. October to February is really the theme park time to go when it's not too bad. And we'll be doing some things hopefully for this channel here in the fall. We will be going out to one of the haunted attractions already up in October. Casa Daga haunted attraction. Excited to go check it out. We had them on the show last year, so this year excited to be able to actually go with the channel.
Which one was that? Was that the one where you like could go behind the scenes and see the makeup behind everything, or was that a different one?
No, so Casa Daga haunted attraction is they have a haunted hotel or a hotel that they rent out specific floors and rooms just for that event. And so they just released their theme for the year, and then they're gonna release the dates here coming up pretty soon. But it's a later attraction. They usually don't start until late October, and they do about a 2 or 3 week run there.
What's
so
the theme?
I think it's just one big haunted house like kind of thing. I don't think it's like multiple. It's basically one set house that takes a while to go through.
So you're going through like different levels and stuff?
Yeah. And so they just released their theme on social media. I haven't got a chance to see what it is just yet, but I know they just posted that. So I'll have to catch up with them. I'm sure we'll have them on before the event. Again, they are friends of the show. And so I keep in touch with them throughout the off season, and they're excited to bring it back this year. So super cool. And so, and Darren, I know you've been to Universal in the past as well. Did you go to Hollywood or did you go to Orlando when you went?
Orlando.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
a
couple things. Well, listen. Before, it's funny you mentioned that. There's a couple things. It's so weird how life works. I wanted to ask you guys your opinion. I was going to ask it kind of offline, but now that we're going to talk about this about theme parks, so let's put that on the side for example. But one of the many people that I follow on social media, on TikTok and on some others, is Ray Ramirez, and I bring her up because her husband used to pitch for the Rays, and now he's with the Minnesota, but he's on the injured list right now. And I bring that up because she was talking about, fun fact, was one of those people that were part of the every Halloween cast that would scare you. She was talking about that as well. So I was like, you guys would love that because you guys are into that, and so am I. I love that you guys do that though.
No. So here's the thing. They make me, Mike and his Goonie friends, they make me come and they get a kick out of how insane I scream and I get really scared. Like
that's part of it.
Did you see I think it was, we did a vlog from the last house last year.
Yes.
Did you see me?
Yes.
That was all real.
And if I may,
stole my hat.
That's so. Forget about the fact that they're living dead. The fact that they took your hat. That's another. But no. But I want to let's unpack for a second. And it makes sense, I guess, as I can't jumble up my words. There's a no boo. You can do no boo, like show a piece of paper or a badge, or what do
Yeah,
you
so
gotta do?
you have this necklace, and it's like one of those blinky glow necklaces, and that means that the actor can't scare you. So then
What are you,
it's
the
like, so why
designated
even
driver?
waste
Why are
money
you
to go?
there? Why are
Yeah,
you there?
and the
That's like
tickets
going on a
are
roller
cheap,
coaster and going, I don't like to go up and down.
right?
Yeah, so that's actually offered at SeaWorld Orlando, where we went to at Fear Reach Scream Park. I mean, if you're going to a place called Scream Park and you're wanting
Yeah.
to not get scared, like it's not like other, like they literally have
Don't
3
go.
haunted attractions and some food and a couple people that are like vendors and stuff. But you're not going all the way out to where we went if you're not gonna go for a scare. So, but at SeaWorld Orlando, I get it, I guess, like you want to be part of the experience, but they have scare zones. It's not just haunted houses, so they can get you from all different angles and stuff. So it's really not the place for you.
Pop out of the
you're not-
bushes.
yeah. So no, great question, and I can't wait to get into that season later the year. We'll have quite a few podcasts related to that and all the fun to be had there and all the special eats that they only have once a year. My favorite, the pizza fries. So those are the best. But
you have me so motivated about all of this, and I know we're talking about the amusement park, but you're talking about Halloween and that whole haunted stuff. Real quick, we kind of mentioned it on the podcast 7 months ago, but I'll make sure it happens this year, just because I'm more implanted in what I do. We can take time off or whatever. But boy, it's going to be fun to go up to Salem, Massachusetts, and cover Salem, Massachusetts for Halloween.
Oh my gosh, you should, because you're
Oh,
close,
yeah.
right?
I'm right there, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, so let's just kind of get that.
What we'll do, maybe we'll just have you stay at someplace overnight in Salem.
Okay,
Go live.
no, there'll be no.
Anything.
No, hold on. Wait, this is my no scare zone. No, I got my little pass, my little necklace. I'm ready. No.
Yeah, we'll deadbolt the locks at the door and just share your experience. As your... But so we had so much fun yesterday at Universal. We got there, like I said, around noon, and so the very first thing that we did when we got there, I wanted to, and Aiden I think as well. I love the older attractions for nostalgia. And so, of course, we had to do something that we can't do when we go to Halloween Horror Nights is go on ET because that's not open there. So it is open during the day. So there you see there. That's actually Eileen right there in the picture. No, but we had such a good time. Yes. So ET is probably I think it is the longest standing attraction at Universal Studios. And it's only open during the day, but the air conditioning is a break when you're out in that Florida heat. You cannot wait. If you make that ride like the best thing ever, just because you're in air conditioning. Have you been on that ride, Darren?
Yes, I have. It's a very good ride.
Yeah, it's a good ride. I love what you get when you first get there, you watch a little video from Spielberg, of course, and then you get a boarding card with your name, and it's always fun to make up a silly name. I didn't yesterday, but it's always fun. And
I froze.
Yeah,
I was gonna make up a silly name, but then I was like, Eileen,
yeah, boring.
Anything fun.
And so, yeah, you go through the queue and you get to kind of see a little bit about where ET is from, and then of course you get on the ride. Now, one of the unique things about this ride, it's the only attraction at Universal Studios that you're allowed to film on if you're a blogger or YouTuber or anything like that. Everything, which is weird, right? Because it is a licensed Universal movie, but it's the only one you're allowed. So if you do bring your gadgets, your phone, or your any kind of streaming device, you are allowed to bring it on that attraction. So if you watch a lot of streamers, as I do, and YouTubers, you'll notice that one's covered a lot. It's not because it's their favorite in the world. It's because it's the only one at that park that they're actually able to do in terms of a ride. So it's a fun little fact.
I think the really cool thing too is that like it's still like it's one thing that Universal does really well that some of the other parks don't do is that it smells like you would imagine the movie smells, if that makes sense. Like you're in the forest, it smells dewy and foresty and earthy. Like when you're on the bike scene riding through the forest trying to get away from the big scary Jeep and all that stuff. And so that part was really, really cool. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just hypersensitive to smell and it was just moldy. I don't know.
No, Disney does that with the California Adventure ride.
Oh, okay.
You go over orange trees and it smells like orange.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why not engage all our senses? And that's what they do.
And Universal, they do also do that for Halloween Horror Nights too, which sometimes it's like you walk into one of these haunted houses and it smells like death and it's gross. But that part was really, really cool. And then the other part was that like we get if you have some sort of disability that needs accommodation, you can go see guest services and get I think it's called the Attraction Assistance Pass. And they'll give you this pass, and so it's like a little card, and then you can go up and they scan it, and then they'll write on there what time for you can come back instead of sitting there and waiting in the hot sun all day, because lots and lots of things can be exaggerated. Medical conditions can be triggered by just standing in the hot Florida sun, and so it makes it easier to like go sit down in the shade or go, hang out in a gift shop for a little bit, and then come back in your 30-minute time. And then you just get to walk right into the air conditioner part of the ride. So it's nice.
It's nice. Yes. And Kim has joined us. Hello, Kim. Good to see you. If you've been to Universal, Kim, drop in the comments what your favorite attraction is. We are talking about E.T. right now. That was the first thing we did yesterday to get out of the sun immediately when we got there. And, yes. It was blast. And of course, the ride premise, you go through, basically you're trying to save E.T.'s home planet. And so you got to recognize his friends along the way. And surprise, at the end of the ride, you save E.T. and his planet. Every time it works out for the best. So
every time.
Every time.
You're a hero.
Yes. I wonder if you fail to shut the ride down permanently and just close it down. I don't know. But luckily, so far, the billions of times that people have been on the ride, we always seem to save E.T. and his planet. So just, you would think at some point they would stop, they'd get out of harm's way, but it's every single time they just continue to fail. So thank God for E.T. and his magical touch, as they call it. So
yeah. And the ride, it gives you all the feels when like that part where you're finally going out across the moon, it just gives you all the feels. You're like, I'm 5 years old again. It was fun.
Yeah. Love that.
So during this next attraction we're going to talk about, it's not a ride, but it's one of my favorites. They always knock it out of the park. And I will say, I think in terms of everything, total package, like comedy, thrills, all that kind of stuff, I think it's one of the best shows at any of the theme parks. And that is, of course, the Universal Orlando's Horror Makeup Show. The cast is exceptional on this show. And they even though you know what's going to happen, they make the experience unique. They will.
I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah. Like they will purposely stay up to tune. So you may see a show one week and it can be completely different the next. If something different happened in the world, they'll update the script and stuff. So I thought that was super cool. Did you get to do that, Darren? Do you remember?
I did not. I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah. So Eileen, do you want to share a little bit about what you do there?
Yeah. So it was a really cool. I mean, they did have some pop culture references. The script, they're very witty. They're very clever. They're making you laugh the whole time. But then they kind of go into the different techniques that they use to do the makeup and the like trick knives, the knives that actually don't cut anyone, but they use in the horror movies to make it look like they just like stabbed you in the heart or something. So they like all those stage effects. So they kind of went through all of that. They pulled up a volunteer who she really didn't volunteer. She got voluntold, and then she tried to get out of it. She's like, I don't speak English. And they're like, no, that's perfect. Let's go. So they used a knife to cut her arm off, but it wasn't real. It was a stage prop. And it actually had a little packet of blood in the trigger part of the knife. I can't explain it all that well, but the way, like when they start going side to side to make it look like they're carving, it like pops open this little pouch of fake blood, and the blood starts trickling down her arm. Oh, it looks so gross. I know it's fake blood. I know it was fake blood, but it had me going.
That's okay. The theater of the mind. That's a good thing. You're scared. You know it's fake, but it doesn't matter.
It's like, what if it's not fake? What if this time they accidentally did use the real one? I don't know. So that was a little. I'm just weird about blood, fake blood. I don't know. But then, like, they were very super interactive with the audience. There was this other poor kid. They were calling him out. He was like, I don't even know what I did. And then I won't give away the ending, because if anyone does decide to go, I don't want to spoil the ending. But there is a part that maybe I was the only one in the studio, but I definitely got a jump scare. I was like, ah, and I hid. I was holding Mike. Mike is laughing the whole time. I don't think every single time that we go through a haunted house or any type of scary ride and I'm holding him, he's laughing. So I don't know, but it was really good. It was to me, it was scary, but I thought the most interesting part was when they talked about the man with 1,000 faces. Have you ever heard of him?
Oh, yeah.
How he did his own makeup, and that's where really the whole revolution of doing the stage makeup and the stage props and all these extra special effects to enhance the movie came about. And so that was really cool how they and then they this lady who was voluntold, she they hooked her up with this glove, and it went down her arm, and they had it on her head. And so anywhere that she moved her body, if she moved her hand left, the machine moved its hands left. It was like one of those, what do you call those things, honey? Animatronics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Animatronics.
It was one of those. So she, they did a demonstration with that. It was really, really cool. I've seen it before, but I still got scared anyway. So
yes, still got scared. And they show you how her, with the fake knife, how they do the cutting and to make it look like the real blood and all that kind of stuff, like you mentioned. It's so much fun.
Yeah,
Aiden loved it. He really enjoyed it too.
Everybody else was laughing. I was the only one that was scared. So I'd probably say it's probably a 2 out of 10 for scariness, but for me, it's like an 8 out of 10. So
yeah, also when you get a glimpse behind the scenes of anything, for me, I mean, and for American culture, right? People love cooking shows and how homes are remodeled, etc. Because we, as a culture, love to see how things are done. We actually love to see how the sausage is made, don't we? And that's what this is.
We do.
I like that.
Yeah. And so dog's excited. And probably for this next attraction I'm going to show you. So the next thing on our little run there is we went to see Transformers The Ride 3D. This was, I don't know, this has been around for a while, Darren, so I'm not, but it may have been a while since you've been there. So
no, I have not gone on that.
Okay. So yeah, that's a great attraction. It is a simulator ride. Basically, you have the 3D glasses and all that kind of stuff, and you put them on, and you basically go through, and you get to kind of almost pretty much see all the characters in the universe of all things that are Transformers. And so it's a blast. I really enjoyed the ride. I've been on it dozens of times, but it's a lot of thrills and shakes you this way and shakes you that way. You're going to get jolted around a lot. Sometimes I'm on the ride and I kind of get over exaggerate how much I'm bumping around, but you do. Yeah, you do get moved around quite a few. It makes it more fun doing that. But one thing you try to do too
the
is
reason why you get moved. I'm sorry, honey. Go ahead.
I was just saying, when you have 4 people in the row and one's not from your family, you don't want to be jerking them around and elbowing them either. So I'm trying to stay close to you, but I'm also you can only protect yourself so much. You're bound to the bar is not completely secluding you in. You have some wiggle room there to. But what you're going to say? Okay,
so I think you're over exaggerating a little bit. Because it's zooming around like that so much because you're in a car. That's the gist of it. Is you're in a Transformer race car.
So there's a couple things that something Mike just said about the bar, right? And again, I'm as old as dirt, right? So I just remember growing up loving amusement parks, right? And I love carnivals and stuff, but I just remember, whether it's Coney Island or Rockaway Playland, the Sissy Bar. For a couple of things. One, that bar is basically going to hold you in, but really do nothing compared to now. Now they strap you in, as they should. That one little bar, it didn't matter if you were certain weight, size, like that was supposed to stop it all. And excuse my Seinfeld sounding. Who named it a Sissy Bar? I mean, what, do tough people not use the bar? That little bar, and you hear a creak, and I'm like, this is not good. This is not good. I'm getting off the merry-go-round. Thank you. No. Go ahead. So here's a couple other questions I got. Is Back to the Future still there, or is that gone?
Gone.
That is gone.
Very
Long
sad.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really
So
sad about that.
if
That
you
would have
remember
been.
that one,
I
yeah,
know.
That was a great ride.
I was too young to
your
be
brother,
able to
Mike,
go
your
on that
brother
ride.
threw up on that ride.
He did.
Ah, we
Really?
got
Yes,
something
you
on
did.
him now.
Yeah, we will. And one of the attractions that we're going to be covering here shortly is the ride itself that replaced it. And I would 1,000% prefer the. Not that it's bad, but I would 1,000% more enjoy the original ride. But we'll get to that one.
Did the
but
original
yeah,
ride make it
unfortunately-
seem like you were in a flying car? Because that would have been
Yes.
so cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
you were on a lift. You actually
Yeah,
lifted
so
you
it's-
up,
And you were
and the car would shake like this. It was great.
Man.
Yeah.
It's similar to what replaced
Darn.
it. But obviously, the effects are a little bit better now. But it was just, when you compare the two, I mean, it's Back to the Future, right? So
How about Spider-Man? The Spider-Man ride, is that still there?
Yes.
yes.
Because when Spider-Man jumps on the hood of the car, that blew my mind. That I really
Yeah,
I mean,
so that's very similar to this Transformers attraction. That's Megatron and
Oh yeah,
Optimus Prime. They
Megatron does
your
jump on the car.
love that.
Yeah.
And he picks up the car too. So the car must be on a lift as well, or they do a really good job with the screen effects that make you feel like you're moving. And so it's like Megatron comes and he lifts the car, and then Optimus Prime jumps into the middle, and the car gets thrown, and you feel like you're free falling. And I don't know, maybe Mike did wiggle around a little bit more than I hold that bar like it's the end of my life if I let go of that bar. So, but it was really cool because it's like so when I was a kid, Transformers, that was an 80s thing, right? And it was very like two-dimensional, like very just and the way that the movie made it come to life, like it came to life, and it came to life the way you think it would, like even the sounds of when the transformer transforms into the being instead of the vehicle. It's like, and you're just like, wow, this is so cool. Like everything is so cool. You just want to be there forever.
Yeah, it's so much fun. It really is, and it's up to do each and every time you go. It's got to be on that list of like do it every single time, for sure. So from there, on our travels, then we didn't stop from there. We actually went here next. So we went to the Men in Black Alien Attack. So this is one of their my favorite attractions. Not just because I always win, because I mean I'm the best at this game. I'm just throwing that out there.
True.
But so for this attraction, you're basically, if you've been to Disney and you've done the Buzz Lightyear attraction where you have the little gun and you shoot lasers, and so you're basically trying to shoot different aliens in the eye in different places. You can even shoot the other vehicles, which is so cool. If you hit the top of their circle, it makes them spin around in circles and you get extra points, which is really cool. And then you do spin around a lot on this ride. It does take you do get a little dizzy from the amount of times you spin. And then, of course, at the end, they say, don't hit the red button. But if you're the first person in your vehicle to hit the red button, you get 100,000 extra points. So that's why I always win. So you got to hit that button first.
Every
that's
time.
a big advantage. Every time. You got to be ready for the button.
I don't understand how he does it.
Yeah.
He does it every single time. I used to think that he was over exaggerating when he says, oh, I win every single time. And I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. At this point, we were still just dating. Like, I'm figuring he's just trying to impress me. No, he wins every single time. Like, I've never.
Mike's got game. He's got game.
I'm telling you, he's like, he timed it perfectly because if you hit the red button, it's got to be like this exact split second. And it's when Will Smith goes, okay, you might want to hit that red button now. Mike's got it. It's done. It's over. It's like, what even happened? But I thought what was really cool about it is like the little gun that you get to have. And it's like it sounds like a little pew, pew, pew blaster from Star Wars. But you're like, you're
Remember though,
gun
if it was a pew pew from Star Wars, you'd miss because those stormtroopers couldn't hit anything.
That's probably why I missed so much then.
Yeah, there's so much.
I can't hit anything.
Yeah, now this attraction offers a single rider option, which is really cool. If you've never done single riders, guys, that's a really cool option. If you kind of like who you're with, but not that much, and you kind of want to get away from them for a few minutes, go ahead and do the single rider because you will get split up. Every once in a while, they'll put you on the same vehicle, but you get a few minutes away from your family. You get to sit with random people, and you get to beat up on them. You're always beating your own friends, always beating your own family. Why not destroy someone else's day by destroying them in this attraction? So that's always a fun thing to do. You've got to check out the single rider line. The queue,
especially if you're gassy.
Cool. Yes, right. Yes. And
oh my goodness!
The queue always makes the attraction so much better. There's so much to look at while you're waiting in line. You don't want to just be staring at nothing, new walls and stuff like that. So gotta love.
Oh yeah, so there's a whole collection of the Men in Black guns. I know the movie might be older, but like it was one of the coolest movies when he goes into like that closet and like he's like pick your weapon and he gets that little baby cricket shooter and it's like but there's like other weapons that are like that big and so you like walk into this room and it has this glass case and it has all the different weapons. They're just movie props, but I mean, because of course it's just movie props. It is about aliens, but it's still really, really cool. And like there was a VIP tour going on at the same time, and they were all like, so you're at the top of this level, and you can look downstairs, and we've never seen anybody down there, but there were all these kids running around. We're like, what's going on? And they were like sitting at the computer desk. It was like they were in the Men in Black office, and they were like interacting with the aliens. It was really cool to see that that's an option too. I'm sure it's a ridiculous amount of money, but it's an option that looked fun. So I was like, I want to go push.
Yeah, so we had fun with that. So there were two other rides that we got to do while we were there, including the replacement of Back to the Future, Darren, the Simpsons ride. So this ride, so I mean, if you've done a ride with simulation ride before, this one's really not too different from that. There's some cool little effects, different smells and stuff like that you may not get on other ones, but it is really cool to do. I mean, I'm not saying it's not something that you need to see time and time again. I see Darren looking on the side there. It's peekaboo. Peekaboo, yeah. But the Simpsons ride, it basically replaced Back to the Future, and you're going on a roller coaster. It's supposed to be the world's best roller coaster, and everything that can go wrong does go wrong in this ride. Krusty and all the different villains, if you will, from the Simpsons universe try to make this ride disaster for you. Homer's constantly messing things up. Bart's up to his usual antics. Maggie's even getting into trouble. Yes, Sideshow Bob. Yes. It's hard to believe,
trying to
guys.
Kill everyone.
In December of and here's a fun fact. December of 1989, The Simpsons did a Christmas special, and that was going to be it. And it was so successful that they released season 1. Bart Simpson's still in the 4th grade. It's been, 30 years now. He can't make it to that next level. But always
35.
wearing the same outfit each and every time. Yeah. So yes, I like this attraction. Definitely do it. It's not something you got to do every time you're there. I know our children, our son likes it. Aiden likes it a lot. But it's not what
I do. It sounds good.
Yeah. It's worth it.
So I wasn't the biggest fan of this ride. I felt like this ride was more jerky and it made me very dizzy and nauseous. I know I'm a little more sensitive to that kind of stuff than most. But that was just how it made me feel. But I mean, the storyline I loved. I loved Maggie. I love Sideshow Bob. I love, Homer, Marge, Maggie, Lisa. What's the one? Oh, Bart. Yeah, I love them all, right? I love them. I grew up watching The Simpsons, like big time. TV was my electronic babysitter. Simpsons was on every night around dinner time. So that was a big one for me. But the mechanics of the ride I thought were a little too much for me. But that's just me.
So much. Yeah, that's just you. And the last ride that we did is probably my personal favorite of what we got to do at Universal, and that was Revenge of the Mummy, the ride. So this is an intense roller coaster. If you have not been on this one, and see, Darren, you can peek in this one. This one's covering the whole screen. But the Revenge of the Mummy ride, Eileen, if you want to explain it a little bit, but it's a very short ride, but it's awesome.
Sure. I thought it was really, really cool. So if you've ever seen the movie, The Revenge of the Mummy, I haven't seen it in I feel like it's been at least 2 decades. Yes, I am that old. So I don't remember the storyline 100%, but I do remember it had Brendan Fraser. I do remember he was an excavator, and I do remember he found a mummy, and it was super very deadly. It had like a curse and everything like that. So basically we get in this mine cart roller coaster. So we get in and they put the lap bar down and everything, and you go into this room and everything starts setting on fire, and it's actual fire, not just screen fire. Like, you feel hot and you could see that it's pyrotechnics. And then it takes you to this other room where the bugs, I don't remember much, but I do remember the scene with the bugs really freaked me out. And so we went into the roller coaster goes into another room with the bugs, and they start crawling around everywhere, and I'm screaming. And then just before the bugs get us, we go the other way. And the whole time we're trying to get away from this evil cursed mummy and everything. And so it was just really cool. There's a part where it goes backwards, right?
Yeah, it goes backwards at the beginning when the little, I think it's the little bugs and stuff try to get in your vehicle.
Oh, it is the bugs. Okay, yeah. So you go backwards to get away from the bugs. It's really fun. It's really, really fun. And it's also an indoor queue. Did I say it right? It's queue, right?
Yeah, queue. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yep.
So it's
you got to get a locker for this.
I always say indoor line. What? Oh, yeah. And you do need to get a locker. Put your stuff in the locker. And especially if you have Mike and I will get one of these, not this specific one, but we'll get a refillable cup that you can use to get refills the whole day. Instead of spending, $30 for 3 drinks each time around the park, you spend $15 for the day. You get your drinks all day long, unlimited at the freestyle machine. So that's
a great deal.
Your cup. Yeah, great deal. And then
Segway time.
What?
I got a segue here because we also got our those cups that you were talking about. We got that here at the Mel's Drive-In, and so at Mel's Drive-In now. One fun fact too. So we see the Mel's Drive-In on there, and see if Darren can poke his head through. But at Mel's Drive-In, right? So year round, that is the name of the restaurant. As Darren is right
oh my gosh, it looks like he's coming out.
But during Halloween Horror Nights, it becomes Mel's Die-In. So they which is clever. The R and the V go away, and then it becomes Mel's Die-In. So fun little thing.
Like that.
So this is a great place. One of my favorite restaurants. They do have quite a few restaurants, way better than Magic Kingdom in terms of amount of places to eat, right? But at Mel's Drive-In, we got, it's really a burger joint. The fries are really good, and the drinks and stuff like that. They have
I love
buffalo chicken sandwich, which is really cool. They have a lot of shakes as well.
Yeah.
So
the burger was actually really good. You kind of think theme park burger. Sometimes you think about the cold burger that's been sitting under the hot lamp for a while or anything. It didn't taste like that at all. It tasted very fresh. I forgot about how much I loved Thousand Island dressing on burgers. I was when I bit into it, I was like, oh Oh, that's so good. And it had like this classic 50s, the checkered tile floor, the red leather booths. It had the little oh my gosh, what is that? I wanted to say sound machine, and that makes me sound so old. Jukebox. Wow. Sound machine. Oh my goodness. Yeah,
Special
they had
sauce.
little jukebox.
Special sauce.
Special sauce and jukebox. It was really cool. It was a neat experience.
Yeah, and we saw earlier, Kim mentioned
I
she
love
is
diners.
a roller coaster freak. Yeah, she is a roller, as am I. There's some good choices. SeaWorld is really becoming, out of the 3 Central Florida parks, the best for roller coasters. Quite honestly, they have far and above the most. I know Universal does have some good ones in there. They're actually getting rid of Rip Ride Rocket this fall, so that's going away in September. So we didn't do that one yesterday, but that one is going away. Kiss my grits, Darren says. So the very last thing that we did at Universal, as we mentioned, we got the
for those of you who don't know why I said "kiss my grits," because Kim wrote "is Flo there," right? So I did
Grits
kiss
are
my
girls
grits
raised in the South.
from the TV show Alice. Look it up. Mel's Diner was where Alice worked, and there was a waitress there who used to say "kiss my grits." Just saying.
Oh.
It was on CBS
Now
Saturday
we know.
nights.
Yep. And then, of course, we had to end our day and our time at Universal Orlando going on for the first time, the Hogwarts Express. So it was around 5 o'clock, and this actually takes you from one park to the other park. So we were able to go from Universal to Islands of Adventure. So this was a unique experience. So you wait and then you go upstairs. It takes you a long time to actually get on the train. So it's basically to avoid having to go through the entire theme park to the front of the entrance and go through the entrance of the other park. So it's a shortcut to get from one to the other, right? So you get in this thing and you sit in a little section basically with random people you don't know, and you don't actually get to view the trip along the way. They have this like experience on the wall that you get to watch, and they have some stuff going on to the left of you. So it was kind of cool, but I was also wanting to actually get to see the scenery and stuff. So although I did enjoy it, I would prefer to just be able to look out the window and see what there is to see. What did you think, Aileen?
So I think that because we didn't know it was going to be an actual storyline, we started chatting with the people that were in. So when Mike says we were in a section, we were actually in a train car. And each train car was really, really decorated like precisely to look exactly like the way it looks like in the movie Harry Potter. And so, but we were chatting because we were stuck in this little train car with another 5-person family. So, me and the mom just started chatting and everything. And so we actually chatted through the first half of what was taking place on the screen. So not only did we not know that was going to happen, but at the same time, because it looked like it was going to be a window, but at the same time, I feel like maybe me and the other mom might have messed up the experience. Sorry.
All the talking.
It was really good.
Yeah. And so then wow, we have just under 10 minutes left already. This has been flying through. So we're going to chat now. So fast forward. So now we're at Islands of Adventure. And unfortunately, the rain clouds started to open up here. And this is where we had to kind of take a rain break for about an hour and a half. We couldn't do anything during that time because pretty much everything is outdoors there that we could do at that point. So we decided to try to do a couple things. And every time we try to do like Velocicoaster, the rain got shut it down or technical difficulties with the ride. So when in doubt, what do you do in times of duress? You go to the Cat in the Hat. So we went to Dr. Seuss World to make Eileen's day. It was about 8 p.m.
Love that. Love that.
This is one of her favorite things. So we didn't get to do anything. I think it was from 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock until finally at 8 o'clock we got to do the Cat in the Hat. And it's a slow-moving ride. How would you describe it?
The Cat in the Hat?
Yeah.
So it was a slow-moving ride. It's very similar to if you've ever been to Disney and they have the Ratatouille ride where you get in the car and it drives you around. And so you basically are going through the Cat in the Hat story where he comes and he messes up the house, and the fish is like, don't do this, don't do that, and then thing 1 comes and thing 2 comes, and they just make a catastrophe the whole time. I mean, I was grinning from ear to ear. I was laughing. Like, it was just, I know that I'm 40 years old. I don't care. I was having the time of my life. I love Cat in the Hat. I love Dr. Seuss. When Aiden was little, even when I was little, I used to read a lot of Dr. Seuss books. I remember having a very large collection of Dr. Seuss books. And so when Aiden and Brooklyn were little, I used to read them Dr. Seuss books too. So it was just kind of really fun. And Aiden enjoyed it a lot too. Don't let him act like he didn't. He had the biggest smile too. So Mike walked away for a little bit and he went to go find something. Oh, he went to go ride the Hulk, which I'm sure he'll talk about in a little bit. So Aiden and I, there's this like, so embarrassing, you guys, but it's funny. So there's this playground in Seuss Landing, and there was nobody in it. Like normally, if there were 5-year-olds in it, I wouldn't go in it. I would let them have their time, But there was nobody in it. So Aiden and I were just kind of walking around, killing time, waiting because Mike was going to the Hulk. So we took this little guy. This is Pablo. Can't see him very well, but he's my lounge fly. He's a backpack, and wrong way. He's a backpack. So he's my theme park buddy. He carries my ponchos, my sunglasses, water bottles, all the sunscreen, everything you think a mom would want to bring for a theme park. Well, there are these slides, right, in this Dr. Seuss playground. And so Aiden went down the slide, and I was like, Aiden, you're going to get stuck. You're too big. And he was like, no, Mom, I got it. So he goes down the slide. So I'm cracking up. He's cracking up. He successfully made it down the slide. He's 6'100". So he still got down the slide. So I was like, all right, if he can make it. My little friend Pablo, he's like, Mom, put Pablo down the slide. So I put Pablo down the slide, and he went, boom, face first, all the way down the slide. And so we were laughing really hard about that. And then he was like, Mom, you can make it. I was like, I don't know. He's like, come on, Mom, you can do it. So I go down the slide, but my skin was sticky and hot. So I got stuck. And then him and I were laughing ridiculously. We probably sounded like we were like doing things we shouldn't be doing and then playing in the park, like drinking or whatever. And so Mike comes around the corner and he's like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, it was not
No, it was fun.
And this was about 8 minutes before the park closed, and they're just having the time of their life during this. And what did they do after that? Yeah. What did they do after riding the ride and playing on the playground? They went and rode another ride right there. This was called the High in the Sky Seuss Trolley Train Ride. We were the biggest little kids riding this ride. I think some kids could probably get scared there because you go up really high. If you've been to Magic Kingdom, it's basically the equivalent of the People Mover at Magic Kingdom, but a lot more colorful.
But you don't have rails.
Yeah, there's no rails, so you're kind of going over the water, and it's just a tour of Seuss Land. It's not the whole park or anything. Kind of like how at Magic Kingdom it is a tour of Tomorrowland. This is a tour of Seuss World, and so you get to see everything. And I think that's where they saw the playground during the ride, and they had to find it. Like I think they spent the next 40 minutes looking.
Yeah, so we did Cat in the Hat, and then we did. So we did Cat in the Hat, and then we did the High in the Sky trolley, and then that's when you went to go to Hulk, and that's when Aiden and I were walking around just looking at all the different things that there were in Seuss Landing, and then we found the playground.
So I know we have to cut this off in less than 5 minutes, but I have a question I wanted to ask to both of you. And it's actually a serious question, but not a serious subject. Theme parks are still doing very, very well. And it wasn't a complaint, but somebody actually did a study that they seem to be more adult-oriented now and less children-oriented. Do you feel that? And if so, are there more amusement parks that are more, say, catered to adults than families and children? Not that it's either wrong either way, but you notice a shift.
Not really, except for Epcot. I know Epcot, when I was growing up, was more of like an adult park. There wasn't very much fun things to do there. But I think at every theme park we ever gone to, whether it's SeaWorld or Disney or anything, it always seems to be catered to families as a whole, you know? So I always see kids running.
So go ahead, Mike. You want to say something?
Most places have like a world for kids. Like, so if you're comparing it to the whole park, yes, it's more for the adults and the family than it is for kids because it's a kiddie land. But because you have so many diverse ages and all multi-generational people come because they got to do a little bit of everything, right? So, but the adults like going on some of the kid rides too if they're not big roller coaster people and stuff like that. So it's good. Like Universal has a Shrek's playground area. They have the Dr. Seuss area for those that are kids. But a lot of the kids want to go on rides like the Hulk and stuff like that. They just got to be tall enough, of course. Yeah, that's the one up there.
Let me try to.
It's more still family.
Let me try to squeeze this last one in because I just find how the sausage is made interesting. So SeaWorld, when the cultures shift about fish acts and this and that, and doing other things, they made this wonderful pivot to become a bit of a roaster park, not a roaster park. Nobody's getting close. Right? A coaster park, and that was wonderful. But I just heard this week that Six Flags will be closing a few of their parks.
Really?
I think up to 6 parks. Why is that, do you think? And I know you guys talk a lot about different parks. I don't hear you talk much about the Six Flags. What are they doing wrong, in your opinion?
I've never been. Mike, have you ever been to one?
I've never been to one. I know that they cut their prices down to $60 for I believe it's for a seasonal pass. I think Isaac has a pass there because he lives in Georgia. I think the hard part is if you just cater to a niche, which is roller coasters, I think that's what they're doing wrong. SeaWorld was smart enough to go, okay, people love dolphins, people love Shamu, but you can only see them 26 times. The 27th time, your kids are not going to want to go anymore. And that's what happens with our family. They just want to go every 4.5 to 5 years. They don't want to go every day. So roller coasters are awesome, but if you don't have anything, so I'll tie this into wrestling for a minute. WWE, they have great matches, but their storyline, you're invested in everything. AEW, it's just wrestling, and the stories are terrible. There's really no existent stories. So that's why it's completely falling apart right now, and everyone's on WWE's bandwagon right now is because get the whole package. So Six Flags, they can keep true to their identity, the coasters, but if they were able to bring in shows, performances, things like that, and to enhance that, and I think that's where it's failing, is because
maybe
they don't
characters.
Have more than beyond the coaster. Yeah,
that's true.
And then the other thing I was thinking about just now is like, do they? Because I've been thinking about all the wrongful death stuff. I hear about that more often at Six Flags than at any other park. Do you think that might have something to do with it? You think they're paying out a lot, and so they're going bankrupt because they're?
I don't know enough, but I really wanted to talk to you both and then lean into this because it's interesting. Some are thriving. Yeah. And fun fact, Six Flags was one of the first, if not the first, don't hold me to being the first, to do the whole haunted thing in October. And other places took that idea, and they really ran with it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Kim mentions
Busch
Gardens, same thing.
Yeah, so
Busch Gardens
the reason for
wonderful.
Busch Gardens,
it's just
Busch
so
Gardens
far away.
It's far away, and it's in the middle of nowhere. And there is a lot of coasters, but they do have other stuff to do. They have festivals. They've realized the success of SeaWorld was based on all the different festivals that are included with your. Imagine that Disney and Universal. Universal's better than Disney is at that, but SeaWorld and Busch Gardens are really good because when you buy a ticket, your concerts and festivals are included with your admission. It's not a separately ticketed event. outside of like the Hollow Scream that they have at SeaWorld and Busch Gardens. That's a separate ticket event, but everything else is pretty much included. So that's Busch Gardens is great. They're the SeaWorld family, the Anheuser-Busch family. So they all are, they get it right. They know what they're doing.
There
Coasters,
was
but I think
a coaster at Busch Gardens that I really loved. I think it was called Cheetah Run. That was a cool one. I did that with Ariel one time.
Yeah, that was good. So, but yeah, this has been a blast. I can't believe it's been a whole hour. Speaking of a blast, the last ride that I did was this one, the Hulk. And because of time, I won't get into that one right now.
I've been on that. I love that. I love that ride. Love that ride.
Yeah. I don't think it's showing for some reason, but
it is.
No, it is.
Yeah, it is showing.
Oh, it was. Okay. It wasn't on mine.
Yeah,
but great
that
time.
ride.
I got to ride it in the evening. So much fun. 65 miles an hour starts you right off the bat. So great ride. So thank you, Eileen. Thank you all for watching. And those that are hopping on later, thanks for watching later, and go on and just make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button. Super helpful for the algorithm. Helps us out a ton. Help us get to that 2,200 plateau subscribers. We're so close, less than 20 away. So we got to get there. So thank you for watching this Thursday. We will be live next one more time. And we're going to have baseball fans. We're going to have the Full Chaos podcast is going to be joining us. We're going to talk Baltimore Orioles and some baseball. So make sure you're here Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And until next time, folks, continue to watch our summer movie preview series. But thank you for joining us. And until next time, we'll see you around the ballpark. Bye, guys.